best exercises in our weight room for the hip dominant exercises is going to be the Glute Ham Machine. Now there's different machines in all sorts of different weight rooms. Ours is probably one of the more elaborate designs. It's got multiple different exercises that you can do on it. I'm going to show you how to use it for 3 different exercises. One's going to be a back extension, just using the back. One's going to be a hamstring curl, just using the hamstrings. And then the full movement of the machine actually involves both movements together, which is the hyperextension, or the back extension, and then into the curl. And so that's going to be the glute ham raise. Okay? So we're going to start off by showing how to set this piece up. First thing is this, is that we've got 2 pull buttons right here. They both move up and down. Just understand, as I want to, I can raise this part of it up, and then I can raise this heavier lower part up and down. Know this, that the lower that you go, the easier the exercise is, because you gain more torque from the angles of your joints when you lower this down. You'll see that in just a little bit. So we've got it low here. We've got it into a position that I've got enough space because my ankles go through here. We need to have that space. If you felt like you were going to fall through, you can tighten it up just a little bit more, but many people can't get their ankles through there, so you're going to make sure that you've got enough space so that your ankles can go in that hole. Okay, the second thing is we got another push button or a pedal over here on this side. And what we're going to do with this pedal is we're going to move this entire leg apparatus back and forth depending on how our body fits in here, and you'll see in just a second how we need to fit that for us. Okay, so I'm going to push down on the pedal, and then what it does is it allows this apparatus to move forward and back, and depending on my leg length, I need to position it into a certain spot. Okay, so right now I'm going to leave it right here. I'm going to jump on the machine and see if it's fit to me. So I'll jump up on. I'm going to go ahead and put my feet in between those 2 pads that we talked about, and between the 2 pads on the other side. Now, it's fit really well to me because I know that my knees right now are still sitting on this shelf, okay? Now, if I had it improperly positioned for myself, what would happen is my legs would actually fall through. I've got to work hard to make that happen now, so I know if I sit in it normal, my knees are on the shelf, this is perfectly situated for me, okay? So we're ready to go. Now we've got 3 different movements that we can do on this machine. The first movement is very similar to another one that we have, which is just a back extension on another machine. So what we're going to do is we're just going to climb down. We're going to allow our feet to be stuck and drive up against that pad in the back. And some people get a little worried that they're going to fall out, but just understand gravity is pulling my feet up and locking me into this position. So I'm just going to go ahead and just hang. And just hang. Stretch out my lower back, stretch out my glutes, and then the first movement is just going to be an extension where I come up and I just get straight through my body. From my heels, to my knees, to my hips, to my shoulders, to my ears, I'm nice and straight. My glutes are firing now, squeezing together as hard as they can. And I can also brace through the core and bring my ribs down to my elbows. That's a perfect position. Come up, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core. Okay? Now, that in itself can be one of the exercises done on here. Just do reps with the extension of the back. Okay? When I do that, I'm working glutes, I'm working lower back, but I miss out on hamstrings. This was intended to work all of them. So now we're going to go to just one hamstring exercise, and it's just going to be the hamstring curl on the Glute Ham Machine. Okay? So we call this a ham raise. Okay? So right now we're just going to get into that same position, knees straight, hips straight, shoulders straight. And what we're going to do is we're going to lean the hips forward, and that straight line maintains itself until I lay down straight. And then I can come right back up the opposite way. I get my hamstrings in because I'm bending through my knee, and that movement right there is going to be more of a hamstring dominant exercise. Lean forward, come right back out. That's the second way you can do this exercise all by itself. The third exercise is putting the 2 of them together, and that is the Glute Ham raise. Okay? So now what we're going to do, we can go ahead and start up, or we can start down. Either way, we're going to do the hyperextension, or the back extension, and then we're going to do the leg curl, finishing it out. So right now, down, up to an eye, hamstring curl. Relax down. Up to an eye, hamstring curl, pulling yourself up. Again, when you're pulling yourself up, you're trying to pull against this pad as opposed to pushing into the gas. Pull up to make sure we properly use our hamstring. If we push on the gas, we use our calf too much. Now, one of the things that I know is that that last movement that I just showed is really tough to put both of them together. So what can we do to adapt it? All we can do is do the eccentrics that we've done in so many other lifts. Lower slowly and under control, and then climb ourselves back up into the starting position. I'm always stronger lowering down. So again, probably the best way to get started with this exercise, knees, hips, shoulders in alignment. Then I'm just going to start leaning forward and letting the hips start the movement. Pull up into that pad in the back. Slow, 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 slow. Try to get to this position, really hold, and then all the way down over 5 seconds. Now from here, maybe I can't get back up. I'm going to climb back up into that position. Sit up tall and start that same movement again. It's just an eccentric glute ham machine. You'll find by doing that, you'll be able to start